Howdy gamers, it's me, Fembro. So I wanted to do something different for this video and actually script it for once just to see how things would go. I never wanted to make this video, but I cannot deny in light of recent drama that Keffals, aka Clara Sorrenti, has made some very problematic comments and continues to double down on them to this day. She continues to make racial attacks on Asian people. She's still yet to apologize for her pit crew digital blackface attacks, and she faked going to rehab. In tried and true fashion of this channel and others, I will not provide any evidence for these claims, because there isn't any. Just believe me, winky face, like and subscribe. This video is also sponsored by Rain. It's truly sad and disgusting that she constantly appeals to her Italian heritage and crying white woman tears for simply having her entire political and personal history called into question every single week by both radical sides of the political spectrum. Wow, it's almost like they have a lot of common. But come to think of it, there are people far more useless and vile. And it's you people. Yes, you. More specifically, the people who clicked on this video thinking it was another cowardly smear video against Keffals. This video is actually about the legion of self-flatulating video essayists moral f***ing about shit Keffals either didn't do or straight up already apologized for, which is kind of rich because a lot of them are just really fucking racist.
I knew the strong with him as soon as he said blocks.
First of all, F you Shark for being another black man complicit in some racist transphobic bull against a black trans woman. You're really giving leftist Candace Owens vibes. The clout and access he gained after strategically going after Professor Flowers was the first time I sensed vibes from him. I don't have time to deal with Uncle Ruckus Jr. when my black and brown trans siblings are lacking resources, support, dying, and being murdered.
But they don't just go after Keffals. No, these people's bloodlust goes well beyond attacking LGBT activists who actually did things like raise $200,000 for trans youth and successfully attack one of the most harmful anti-LGBT websites on the surface web. They attack anybody who actually fucking cares about minority struggles but aren't willing to be locked in step with literally every single rhetorical talking point coming from people who don't care and just want to LARP as important voices. Like the time they decried the hijacking of a hashtag that was being used to mourn the death of a trans girl because it was previously used to mourn the death of a black woman. They went as far as to call black people racial slurs for either not finding it a big deal or more upset that this was being a point of contention, as you saw earlier. In case you don't know, this video is in response to specifically the creator, Foreign Man in a Foreign Land, who recently wanted to cash in his woke school check and run a fallacious smear campaign against Keffals and Vaush. Although most of the vid are a collection of tangential points that really don't serve the larger video. The vid has more like several main ideas and it's very all over the place. The most bizarre part of this video is the framing, more specifically in regards to Keffals. He says this.
She gone on to make some of the most egregious lies and bigotries we have seen in this space, to the point where it got so bad that she had to do this. She got help. Now, let me start by saying this, right?
Did you catch that? Let me play it back.
She gone on to make some of the most egregious lies and bigotries we have seen in this space, to the point where it got so bad that she had to do this.
I don't know what you're... Wait a minute, it's all coming back to me!
He just fucking moves on. No elaboration, no context, nothing. It was so maliciously brainwashy. The way this is framed is in a way where you cannot accept any other position other than Keffals must be racist because it was so bad she went to therapy. In case you don't know, this is a farce only pristinely edited 9/11 jokes could rival. Keffals' real reason for going to rehab was so she didn't fucking die from overdosing and hurting the people who cared about her. It's a bold-faced lie on his end and doesn't serve his points at all. There are valid criticisms for Keffals, ones she's already owned up to and already apologized for. As for the other tweets on the right of him, yeah, these are about noodles. She is racist for liking noodles. More specifically, she is racist for not ruining the life of another white woman, and I cannot stress this enough, who made a cookbook on how to make noodles and dumplings. We live in a society, so why bring this up? Nothing sells more than outrage. It's quite easy to manufacture outrage against content creators you don't like. Simply dig up an old controversy or maybe even just make shit up about them. Repeat how offended you are enough times and watch the horde of Neanderthalian leftovers waltz in and throw money at your face. Sound familiar? This outrage can literally be made up by anyone, even a 4chan troll, which is exactly what happened with Keffals regarding the evil racist noodle comments. However, Noodlegate can feel elusive to this point, as it may initially sound convincing that they, the critics, care with all the cry-bullying and gaslighting they do. So to demonstrate this point more clearly, I point to the wage slave himself, DJ Mule. DJ Mule is mostly known for being the retarded asshole who made a video trying to slander Xandahal for being abusive to his girlfriend at the time, when in reality the opposite was true, and it was demonstrably so. After the video came out, and Lefty streamers took a fat shit all over it with very minimal defense coming from his fellow SES because it was that bad. They still love him now. He self-admitted only made the hit piece to pay for his rent. Which it did! But only for that month. He now has to work minimum. What the hell? Dunks aside, this behavior is rancid and shows no sign of stopping. Even earlier this year, Video SES FD Signifier asked Destiny to pay his organization $25,000 for debate over black issues or some shit, as if his time and presence is worth $25,000. It's all about money and fame to these people. It surely doesn't help that large figures like Jessie Gender continue to directly support these people and boost their abuse just so she can feel good and pat herself on the back for being a good ally. I think her judgment is woefully misguided, as everything she's done in recent just adds fuel to this unnecessary fire started by people for self-serving purposes. Starting to notice a pattern? Arrogance, greed, lies, lack of accountability, hand-waving, pseudo-intellectualism. It's a fucking game to these people. They are fake activists. The best thing they could do for their cause is to fucking whine on Twitter about what other people are doing rather than actually getting their hands dirty with political campaigns and volunteering in their local community. They have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Worst part of this all is while they pollute the online left with useless infighting that serves nobody but themselves, we continue to have our community attacked and threatened. We have politicians and demagogues on the right that continue to spread lies about trans people, gay people, Jews, black people, minorities alike, and instead of coming together as one to fight something for good, they'd rather plant their head firmly into their ass and take a fat long whiff of themselves. But they don't have to actually face the consequences of their actions. We are at the point in Texas where they have fucking bounty hunters paid by the state to track and out trans people. Things could get much worse than this for all of us, and people like me have to stay and fight to survive while they can go and take the fortune they gained from smearing others and dip out the country to ruin another place. I live in Florida, the capital of fascism in the West. It is literally illegal for me to express myself the way that I am here because it is deemed grooming to wear femme clothes as a male. I will not leave. I will stay and be a fucking pest to these people, even if it kills me. The only thing I could hope for is that whatever good comes from my, Keffals, and other activist efforts isn't wrongfully claimed as an achievement SES had some part in. You people would gladly watch the left burn to cinders if it meant you had your expenses covered. And so I make this plea to anybody who wants to do the right thing and make real change. Stop watching these people. Stop giving them money. Stop supporting them until they decide to set aside petty differences and fight as one. They never will. In the end, they were never your ally.